15. Failure success. Failure is just practice for success. How was my day yesterday? So first of all, I started after doing all of my morning routine. I had the codebooks or codebook club, as I used to call it. I had that on my agenda, and Elena, I had some last minute RSVP changes, and so I decided against hosting it and doing something else. So I instead of going through the book club content, I was defining the co-roles in a session together with Corinna outdoors on the new, for me, new outdoor workplace, my outdoor office, which I really enjoy. And so I was doing this, and that was a big part of my time yesterday. And then I later on also moved into the co-tactical, which was a continuation of the pre-day. And there were still some updates that I wanted to make. And then later on, I squeezed in a small session for defining the co-products and services, which is just a way for me to make myself aware of how I'm generating value within the co-legend realm. And then later on, I had a short talk together with Corinna talking about how to deal with Clemens wanting to see the apartment, and we agreed that we will be just play with completely open cards, radical honesty, open sharing, and tell him what our thoughts are, and show him the apartment as it is, and not postponing him for interest reasons. And he will visit today, and today in the evening. Something else is the co-app and co-groups. I sat down and I tried to implement the agendas for the clan and for the tribe into the virtual rooms, and I actually managed to do so. However, I managed to do so using a sort of a hack, because I just created an agenda tutorial, which was a workaround for me. And it's the good news is that it's there. The not so good news, or the bad news, is that I'm not happy with it. I want to, for the next version, I want to actually create content pages so that I can link to content pages instead of, and linking and showing content instead of tutorials, because for me, tutorial might just be one version of such a content page, but it's not everything that I think really exists. And so tutorial pages are just one kind, and I want to have general information pages as the second kind in Coalition that I can refer to, link to, do some stuff with, etc. Maybe also talk about and have a feedback button. I don't know yet, but that's the next thing that I want to have. And then lastly, what I did yesterday is triggered by all of this, how to deal with these agenda pages. I didn't want to hard code them. I didn't know how to go about it. I didn't know where it's and how to migrate to it, and if I can use the one that I previously used now using this new technology stack. And my answer was yes, I might. And I also already implemented the first version of it, and I got it to work at least in a way where it's now usable for me. And yeah, so that's that. That's what a big part of what I did yesterday. In the end, by all of this technical frustration of, I noticed I put myself into too much. I saw it as too much of my expectation, or what I did. I was not happy. I was not content or happy with how I dealt with these frustrations, and that I went into these tensions so much instead of backing out and trying to find a different strategy altogether. And that is that is how I made myself really tired towards the end of the day. And I also called it a day before. However, I did a small church walk, which is walking around the church outdoors and talking with Corinna to recap the day. And I was not very engaged in the church walk because I was totally not in the talking mood. I was really tired, and that was my day yesterday. So what am I going to focus on for today? And this is, I just got the email from the Duo partnership telling myself what my focus is, but I'm also in the app, so I can tell you from here. The 3 things that I'm focusing on for today is number 1, Araldo Energy Vision. And my plan here is, or my next step is to listen to my own Hero MP3 and capture my own ideas and intentions with regard to my own vision in the current state that I have it right now. The second is that I want to add my Araldo Energy metrics. This is an outcome. I want to have my own metrics, and the step for this is adding it to my Hero. And then and the third thing is the Trifold Tactical, which the next step is creating a habit out of it. I already did that by renaming my weekly checklist into this habit, and now the next thing is to also write. I'll update this checklist and create a real agenda for when I'm doing what and in what order when it comes to my personal tactical. So to also something that I didn't do, I want to update. The 4th thing that I did not put here is, and I'm updating this live right now because I also want to have this as one of my focus points, is my my timetable that I want to update. I found it. And that's something that I also want to have on my agenda for today. And in terms of what I will be doing today, which is very different than what my focus is, I try to put my focus into the day, but I'm doing more than what is on my focus because this is more the productivity mind. In general, I'm now next up after this video, then doing the tactical for my relationship. Then later on, I'm cleaning up my clothes over there. And while I do this, I will listen to my own Hero MP3. And after that, I will talk with Corinna about the world travel plans. Then I will prepare my dinner, and while I'm doing so, I will continue talking with Corinna about stuff, and then go play table tennis, where I have an appointment with an Austrian guy that I met a few weeks ago, and he tried to reconnect with me, and I arranged so that the 3 of us will be playing table tennis, and then I will prepare for the clan, which hopefully, if I'm now keeping up with my personal tactical plans, most of it is already over and done with. So in the best scenario, I will just not have to prepare anything for the clan because I will have done it by doing my tactical. And then I have the clan meeting from 18 to 19:30, and then I will host this space here, this apartment for Clemens, to show him the apartment and talk with him about it. Then later on, I will do mentoring with Corinna, getting her to the next level of our legend questing. And then I will be, according to my agenda, will be reading the next few pages of the book that I'm reading right now for the Co-Books Club. And then I will close the day with 1 hour of yoga, featuring Corinna as my yoga instructor. And that's my day. I hope that you also have a legendary day. And if you have some feedback, anything really, I'd love to hear. Get the onboarding working in a streamlined manner, gave up amidst the process. And I think that is very natural that something like that happens. What I really love is that this person took the time to write me, or to write Corinna, and tell her that she couldn't make it. And by getting this feedback, I took a look at the list of signups, and I saw that there's multiple new users, and I was completely oblivious that other people also signed up for the project, and I wasn't aware of it because the onboarding process is broken, which is I'm very glad that this is happening. Not that glad that this struggle is here, but glad that I am now aware of it, because this means that I will put fixing the onboarding process and getting that to the next level on a high priority, and taking other stuff that I also put on my plate off for now and instead focus on this onboarding process, because I want people